Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on this Friday, October 8th. Live from the Beasley Media Complex in Boone, this is the Appalachian Weekly News. I'm Grace Powers.
And I'm Ivy Fischl.
And we open our newscast with this new double-decker Apple Cart bus that's been going around town lately. Ivy, have you seen it?
I have. It's been really cool to see driving around town.
Our very own Zanara Marine Lopez has the story.
Picture this. It's 7:45 in the morning and you woke up late for your 8 a.m. again. You scramble out the door and make it outside right on time for that last bus on the way to campus, and it's full. Well, the newest celebrity around town is double the size and is set to decongest your ride to class. Apple Cart started demoing a new double-decker bus provided by Alexander Dennis Limited that can hold upwards of 80 to 100 people. On September 28th, Apple Cart revealed via their Instagram that British manufacturing company Alexander Dennis Limited offered a chance to demo a sleek double-decker bus on the Pop 105 route. This bus route reaches stops with large crowds, including University Highlands, the Schaefer Center stop to campus, and Forest Edge. I spoke to Craig Hughes, the director of Apple Cart, about the process of getting this new bus.
Last spring, Alexander Dennis approached us about testing out or just demoing the bus. They wanted to bring it up here for us to look at. And so they came up last spring and we looked at it and they asked us how we felt about it. And we're like, okay, well, we like it and we see where it could have some possibilities on some routes up here where we have a lot of ridership and have trouble with the buses being full. So they said, well, if you'd like to test drive it, we could bring it up here and let you demo it for a couple of weeks. So we thought, well, we'd like to see if it'd be a good fit or not. And that way it would give us an idea of what we need to do in the future if we wanted to pursue something like that or not.
Aside from the bus receiving attention on social media and people taking pictures of it in person, Craig says it's helped with the problems of full buses and the driver shortage.
We've not had a full bus with it yet so far, and that's, carrying as many as 86 or more passengers on a round. And when I say around, that's one loop. Sometimes we'll have, on a typical day, we'll have at least one or two calls to where a 40-foot bus that we usually have out there is full and nobody else can get on it. So it's been nice to be able to get everybody on it, and then folks have enjoyed the ride so far.
Once you climb the second-story stairs and reach the top, you're greeted with rows of seats and in the middle, a table with a charging station. While this bus is still in town, it's worth riding. For the Appalachian Weekly News, I'm Zanara Marine Lopez.
In this week's COVID update, the university has 24 active cases among students and 3 active cases among employees. COVID testing clinics are still being held each Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from noon to 4 in Legends. If you're looking to get vaccinated or are eligible for a booster, you can make an appointment on campus at Student Health Services. The university is encouraging students not to wait to get vaccinated against COVID-19, as well as the flu. Flu vaccine clinics are being held on campus on October 7th, 14th, and 18th. The location will move for each clinic, so be sure to check the Wellness and Prevention Services website for more information.
With flu season right around the corner, App State is holding 3 student flu clinics this season. If you missed the one yesterday, there are still 2 more opportunities for you to get your flu shot right on campus. Thursday, October 14th, the flu clinic will be held from 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. on the east side of the football stadium. Monday, October 18th, the flu clinic will be held from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. in room 124 at the College of Education. Students must bring their student ID and proof of insurance to get their flu shot. Flu clinics are hosted by the Student Health Services and the Wellness and Prevention Services. Flu clinics for App State faculty and staff will be coming soon.
Yeah, so we're here to get students vaccinated against the flu. We recognize that with a lot of restrictions being rolled back from COVID, we are definitely going to see a lot more flu cases this year compared to last year. So we want to get as many students vaccinated as possible. And this is a nice, convenient way to get that done.
Looking for a bit of unconventional fall fun? Then get ready for the 44th annual Woolly Worm Festival, happening next weekend at historic Banner Elk Elementary. Thousands of people travel to Banner Elk to race woolly worms up a 3-foot string. The winning worm has the esteemed honor of predicting the severity of the coming winter. The woolly bear caterpillar has 13 brown and black segments, and the 13 segments correspond to the 13 weeks of winter. The lighter brown a segment is, the milder that week will be, and the darker black a segment is, the colder and snowier the week will be. Spots to race worms are limited, so get there early to register your worms. In addition to the races, the festival offers crafts, food vendors, live entertainment, and more. Masks are required, and admission to the festival is $6 for adults, $4 for ages 6 through 12, and free for ages 5 and under.
If you've been spending any time outside, you may have seen the changes in weather over the last few weeks. Our correspondent, Dylan Henson, takes a look at how to be ready for the colder months ahead.
Boone and surrounding areas have seen a lot different weather the past couple weeks. We are now in the fall season in the high country. This week, I spoke with geography professor Alex O'Neill about what you need to know to be weather ready for the fall and winter season.
Yeah, so as you know, we are kind of up in the mountains here in the southern Appalachians. And so we experience a lot colder and kind of more alpine weather during the winter than we see in other areas in the southeast United States. Looking at the ensemble mean of different models, including the European model and the NCEP model, as well as the NOAA CPS seasonal outlook, we are going to be looking at a slightly higher temperature on average and a slightly drier winter. But overall, we're still going to be experiencing some very cold temperatures, lows in the probably mid to upper 20s into the low 30s, and highs in the upper 30s into the low 40s. We'll see some days up in the 50s, and then we'll also probably see some nights that are well into the low teens, maybe even single digits, and expect to see a good bit of snow this winter.
According to the Old Farmer's Almanac, Boone is expected to see rain, sunny, and cold weather for the month of October, while seeing rain and snow showers through the end of November and into December. The best way to be weather ready is to have a weather gear such as boots, a rain jacket, and layers to keep cool during the fall and winter months. The average temperature for October is 47 degrees, followed by 39 degrees in November. As we continue to navigate this season, we still need to remain weather conscious and check daily forecasts. For the Appalachian Weekly News, I'm Dylan Henson.
Fall is here, and Beach Mountain Parks and Recreation will be holding Fall Festival Week this month with autumnal events leading up to their Fall Festival on October 16th. The Fall Festival Week will take place at the Buckeye Recreation Center parking lot. Events will be held from Tuesday, October 12th through Friday, October 15th. The activities include a fall yoga hike, a painting activity, a hayride through the Banner Elk Winery, and a fall festival with wagon rides, crafts, and games. Prices and times vary for each event. For more information, you can go to exploreboone.com/fallfestweek in Beach Mountain.
Every Friday morning in October, you can head up to Beach Mountain for one of their fall color hikes. Parks and Recreation staff will guide you through the trails, showing off all the beautiful fall colors the high country has to offer. You also might learn a thing or two about fall foliage from the Parks and Rec staff as they lead you along the trails. The fall color hikes are open to hikers of any difficulty level. The guided hikes are free of charge, so there's no need to reserve your spot. Simply show up in the parking lot of the Buckeye Recreation Center at 10 a.m. on the morning of the hike.
On Saturday, October 16th, Spooky Duke 5K race takes place at the Peacock parking lot on App State's campus. There will also be a free costume march and contest where children, adults, and pets can show off their unique costumes. All proceeds benefit the Parent-to-Parent Family Support Network of the High Country. The 5K and 10K race will both begin at 9 a.m., with the costume march starting at 10 a.m. There will also be free kids activities from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Awards will be given to the top 3 men and women in each race, and prizes will be given out for the best costumes. A virtual option to participate in the race and volunteer opportunities are also available. You can save $5 when you pre-register for the 5K or 10K race, or you can register the day of. Visit the Special Events tab on App State Parent-to-Parent website to register or to find more information about the Spooky Duke race and events.
The Valley Country Fair returns next weekend, October 16th. Each year, the fair is organized by the Holy Cross Episcopal Church, and all proceeds from the fair's concessions are given out as grants to local charities. The 2019 Valley Country Fair raised $60,000 for nonprofits here in the High Country. So go enjoy some barbecue and baked goods, all while helping out those in need. And you can stop by artist booths to see some of the region's most unique handmade crafts. Artists must submit to a jury process to be included in the fair, ensuring all of their pieces are unique and one of a kind. The fair is held from 9 to 4 on October 16th on North Carolina Highway 194 between Valley Crucis and Banner Elk, across from the Holy Cross Church. Admission is free, but parking is $10 per car.
The Ashe County Corn Maze and Pumpkin Festival is finally back after taking a year off. Our correspondent Shannon Pendleton has the story.
The Ashe County Corn Maze and Pumpkin Festival is run by 4 App State alumni. After being shut down for a year due to COVID-19, they are ready to be back in business and have community members back out here. Because of COVID-19, the Corn Maze has had to make some changes to their business, such as removing activities that involve too much hands-on touching. They've also made sure that they funnel traffic so people can be more spaced out and practice social distancing. Preston Roberts, one of the workers at the Corn Maze, talks about some of the activities that they still have.
So we've got the jump houses, we've got music on Saturdays, we've got a food truck, we've got pumpkin bowling, we have cornhole, we've got face painting, and we do have our big pumpkin cannon that we fire off on the hour, and then the Corn Maze.
The Corn Maze is open Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. and will close on October 31st. Even after only being open for a few weekends, the business has had great turnout so far. Roberts talks about some of his expectations for the Corn Maze this season.
We've had a lot of people come in that had been at the past location, and they said that, since we were closed last year, they were looking forward to coming back this year. So hopefully we'll have a good turnout. Opening weekend looked to be pretty good, and yesterday was Saturday. It was really good yesterday. So hopefully it's going to keep the same trend that it's been doing so far.
COVID-19 has restricted a lot of activities that can be done during this time of the year. Roberts talks about his wishes for this season within the community.
I just hope people are able to come out and have some fun for a change. Everybody's been cooped up for the last year, and I feel like that's why, a lot of people are deciding to come, is they've been stuck in the house, and this is finally something that we can do outside and be spaced out. So I just hope that everybody's able to have a little bit better year this year than they were last year, and maybe we can help in that some way.
If you're interested in coming out to the Ashe County Corn Maze and Pumpkin Festival, it is located at 1332 North Carolina Highway 16, Jefferson, NC, 28640, which is about 30 minutes away from campus. For the Appalachian Weekly News, I am Shannon Pendleton.
Another way you can keep busy during the fall season is by attending the final show of the 2021 Music in the Valley series at the Valley Cruces Community Park. The final concert will take place Friday, October 15th, beginning at 6 p.m. The show will feature the Aaron Burdett Trio along with the Lauren Hayworth Trio. 2 food trucks will serve food and drinks at the show. Be sure to bring a blanket or a lawn chair to relax and enjoy the final show.
This weekend, put on your lederhosen and head up to Beach Mountain for their 31st annual Oktoberfest. Tomorrow through Sunday evening, enjoy live music, local vendors, traditional Bavarian food, and of course, plenty of German beer. This event has activities for the whole family, including a kids' fun center, arts and crafts, and a Bavarian costume contest. You can even go on a chairlift ride to take in all the fall colors. Admission, parking, and shuttle services are free, and the festival will go on rain or shine.
The Latin Hispanic Alliance hosted its annual Latin Hispanic Heritage Festival this past Wednesday. The festival was held in the Blue Ridge Ballroom at the Plymouth Student Union. The organization says the annual festival is a time for members of the Latin and Hispanic community on campus and in Watauga County to come together and celebrate their heritage and culture. It is also an opportunity for those non-identifying to learn and embrace Latin and Hispanic culture. The festival featured an Excellencia in Education panel, catered food, and prizes. The event also raised awareness for small local businesses.
So we're here for the Latin Hispanic Alliance's annual Latin Hispanic Heritage Festival. It's a collaboration with Kairos International Alliance Sorority and Buenos Dias Boone. It's just a time for us to kind of come together and celebrate and honor the Latin Hispanic community on campus and to celebrate those who came before us and got us to where we are.
Linville Caverns is known for its natural rock formations, but it's also home to quite a few bats. Our correspondent Mia Mendez has more on the bats of the high country.
Phenomenal beauty exists inside the high country's only show caverns. At only 4 miles south of the Blue Ridge Parkway at milepost 317, you can find Linville Caverns. Hiding behind these trees is the home of thousands of bats in the Linville Caverns, as well as tons of geological rock formations.
A recent bat survey by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife and the North Carolina Wildlife Commission confirms that 6 bats out of the hundreds hibernating in Linville caverns are infected with white nose syndrome. Dr. Han Lee, North Carolina coordinator for the North American Bat Monitoring Program, or NCBAT, and also a visiting assistant professor at UNC Greensboro, gives me a little more insight on the infected bats of the high country.
It's a infection, fungus infection. It's very similar to a lot of infections we may have on human as well, like a lot of skin problems, like athletic foot, that kind of problem, both on your skin and slightly under your skin, in the connective tissue layer, I believe, the top layer and in between. And for bats, it's particularly problematic in many ways. First of all, the disease itself, the infection doesn't really kill the bat.
While it might not kill the bat, Dr. Lee goes on to explain how the bats are affected by this disease.
A lot of bats in the Northeast, all the way to North Carolina, maybe even South Carolina, they hibernate because they prey on insects. Winter arrives, there's no insect. They have no food. So they go into hibernation, sleep through the whole winter. But now with this infection, it gets super itchy, they wake up.
As far as your future trip to Linville Caverns is concerned, worry not.
Usually those caves, because the large number of visitors, generally there are no bats. Actually, there's no bat, period.
Yeah.
Living there. So I think actually that the visiting can serve a good education opportunity.
While there is no known cure at the moment for white nose syndrome, you can volunteer with Dr. Lee and other researchers to find out more information about these bats.
We're developing a protocol for roost watch. Basically, we want to work as volunteers and community scientists to observe roosts near them.
Hopefully with the help of Dr. Lee and his team of volunteers, bats will continue to have a happy and healthy life here in Watauga County. For the Appalachian Weekly News, I'm Mia Mendez.
Now let's take a look at what's happening in sports this week. Josh, what do you have for us?
Guys, it was a busy week for App State athletics. Let's start with football. After defeating the Marshall Thundering Herd, App State continued to keep the momentum rolling by taking down the Georgia State Panthers 45-16 on Saturday. App State has now won 7 straight conference opening games since joining the Sun Belt in 2014. Chase Bryce had his best game statistically with the Mountaineers, completing 20 of 28 passes for 326 yards and 3 touchdowns. With Cam Peoples sidelined, unfortunately, due to an ankle injury suffered against Marshall, Nate Noel served as App State's primary rusher, carrying the ball 12 times for 74 yards and a touchdown. Sophomore Anderson Castle also contributed with a career-high 54 rushing yards and a score. In the receiving game, it was Corey Sutton who led the way for App State with 106 yards off of 4 catches and a touchdown. The Mountaineers' next matchup takes place against conference rival Louisiana on Tuesday for what should be a key contest in determining who will be the biggest threat to Coastal Carolina for the Sun Belt Championship. Tuesday's game begins at 7:30 p.m. on ESPN2. App State women's volleyball fell to Georgia Southern on Sunday, losing the contest 3-1. The Mountaineers fall to 1-3 against Sun Belt Conference opponents and 5-11 overall. Junior outside hitter McCall Denny led the team with 9 kills and 12 digs, and senior outside hitter Victoria Wolfram had 8 kills. The Mountaineers got off to a good start by narrowly winning the first set 25-23, but the Eagles refused to go down without a fight and would win the next 3 sets en route to handing App State their 3rd loss in 4 games. The Mountaineers look to turn things around against South Alabama tonight at 6:30 p.m. at the Holmes Convocation Center. For women's soccer, App State lost in a nail-biter last night to the Troy Trojans 1-0. The Mountaineers lose their 5th straight conference match, falling to 4-7-1 overall. Despite the loss, App State outshot the Trojans 10-5, with freshman midfielder Sarah Witterich accounting for 4 of them. The Mountaineers return home to face off against the Texas State Bobcats on Sunday at 1 p.m. on ESPN+. App State women's soccer had their first conference game at home last Thursday. The game was also the team's annual Pack the Mack fundraiser. Our correspondent Alex Urquiza has more on the event.
I'm here at the Ted Mack Soccer Complex for App State Women's Soccer Pack the Mack fundraiser. This past Thursday, App State Women's Soccer hosted their annual Pack the Mack fundraiser in their home game against South Alabama. The fundraiser is held every year in order to help raise money to build a brand new picnic shelter at the Ted Mack Soccer Complex.
Oh, well, no, this is great. This is an event that we've done for the past 10 years. We like to support App State's women's soccer program, but it's really just to get the soccer community out here, have a dinner, burgers and hot dogs, and cheer on the App State women.
The dinner started at 6 p.m., 1 hour before the App State women's soccer game. The dinner was $7 per person or $20 for a family of 4. The options of the dinner were either 1 hot dog and 1 burger or 2 of your choice. They also came with a side of chips, a cookie, and a drink of your choice.
But yeah, it's just a collaborative effort. App FC got involved. They jumped on the bandwagon. I saw their Facebook page today, and I saw that they posted something. Same thing with the Parks and Rec Facebook as well. So it's really great that the soccer community just kind of works together and rallies.
Word of the fundraiser reached outside of Watauga County as the Ashe County Middle School soccer team brought their entire soccer squad. The Ted Mack Soccer Complex is different from other App State facilities. The complex isn't just owned from App. It's also owned from Watauga County Parks and Rec and the High Country Soccer Association. There was a high number of attendants at the event as the lines for the dinner stretched into the outside of the parking lot, nearly reaching the street. Because what's better than spending a Thursday night under the lights watching the beautiful game and eating burgers and hot dogs? For the Appalachian Weekly News, I'm Alex Urquiza.
App State men's golf team placed 4th in the Highlander Invitational in Radford, Virginia on Monday. The team scored 297 in both rounds, totaling to a score of 594. Super senior Jake Lane led all players with a score of 7 under par, securing his first tournament victory at the collegiate level. In the second round, Lane impressed by scoring 8 birdies to only 1 bogey. The men's golf team travels to Alamance Country Club in Burlington, North Carolina for the Phoenix Invitational this Monday through Tuesday. App State Cross Country had a busy week as the women's team placed 27th in the Lou Cross Country Classic in Louisville, Kentucky on Saturday. 4 of App State's top 5 runners were freshmen, including Mackie Walsh, who posted a team best of 18 minutes and 3 seconds. The men's team showed out as well, placing 6th in the Lou Cross Country Classic. Graduate student Daniel Smith set a personal record time of 24 minutes and 10 seconds, which is also a team best. Senior Ryan Brown set a season best time of 24 minutes and 17 seconds, and App State Cross Country returns in 2 weeks at the High Point Vert Cross on October 15th. The women's field hockey team took down the Ohio Bobcats last Friday, winning 2-1. The Mountaineers improved to 1-1 in conference play, 4-4 overall. Junior midfielder Pauline Mangold scored the first goal of the game, giving App State the lead early in the second half. The Mountaineers extended their lead 2-0 early in the 4th period, thanks to senior midfielder Frederica Stegen. App State doubled Ohio in shots 14-7, with Stegen and senior midfielder Anna Smorelli sharing 4 apiece. The Mountaineers' next matchup takes place today against Ball State at 1 p.m. in Indiana. Well, guys, that's all for sports. Grace, Ivy, back to you.
Thanks, Josh. And now for your High Country High Note. Last night, Legends reopened their first in-person show since January of 2020.
I got to see the show for myself, and it was so great to see live music again. Local bands Motel Pink, Babe Haven, and Over Easy took the stage for the local Legends Showcase, put on by Appalachian Popular Programming Society.
Legend reopened for regularly scheduled shows open to App State students.
Next week, on October 14th, Legends will host Rug, Slow Stab, and the In-Flights. Doors open at 6 and the show starts at 7. Tickets are $5 at the door and masks are required at all times. That's our report this week. I'm Grace Powers.
And I'm Ivy Fischl. We will not have a show next week, so we will look forward to seeing you again on October 22nd.
For all of us here at the Appalachian Weekly News, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.